Hello, everybody. It is I, James Kuo. Welcome to another drawing stream. Join us. I guess these alerts don't come up on the intro screen, but I want to thank Sparkle for their subscription. They've been, wow, 4 months. Time goes by so quickly. Let me just play that again. I'm muted? Really? Is it muted for everybody? Because it looks like it's working for me. The hospital says that audio is working. Okay. Phew. That was had me worried for a second. But let me just play this alert. There we go. Just want to make sure that that comes up. So thanks for that, Sparkle. Today, I think we're going to be drawing Link from The Legend of Zelda. I know that the hottest game going right now is Elden Ring, a kind of open world adventure game. But I'm old enough to remember when Breath of the Wild was pretty big, so I might do something from that era. So I've got my 11 by 14 Bristol. Sometimes we do 9 by 12, but the space fills up pretty fast, so it's nice to be able to stretch out a little bit. So why don't we go over to the drawing board? Okay. Quickly, I'll just show you guys what we did last week. I guess we've been doing a lot of game art streams because we did these Pokemon starters from Gen 9. And this was kind of like all watercolor with no ink. So I'm just trying to, I think this time it's going to be more like ink first and then adding color later. Just to keep a little variety, keep it interesting for me, keep it interesting for you guys. So yeah, and I want to welcome Crispy Papa, who I've known and seen a little bit around the Twitch zone for a while now, but I think it's their first stream here. So welcome, Crispy. My chatters are very nice. Let's see. Should say hi to P Hospital. Sparkle, we interacted. Oh, hello, Fio's here. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by the draw stream. I feel like I should just get the pencil moving. So I might put like a little poll in the chat. So I was pretty torn about like there's so many different links that have existed in the history of that game series. I'm wondering whether, let me look at my poll. Okay, new poll. I'm going to say Link outfit. And the two options are going to be Breath of the Wild blue or classic green. And depending on how the poll goes, that's what we'll draw today. Just a minute long, so you can decide which one you'd rather see. But I can start like working on this, because like outfit details aren't going to really come together until later on. Yeah, let me see how the poll is going. Oh, it's pretty close. There's people voting for each. Oh, Yikesly is here, so suplit to Yikes. So, oh, it looks like Classic Green is surging ahead. Okay, Classic Green it is. Oh, oh, nice. Oh, thank you, Yikes. I did like so much preparation for that. I'm glad that it paid off. I mean, everyone did a great job. You did a great job yourself. Okay, Hilifia's gonna run. Nice to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Okay, let's see. Where's my eraser? So I think I'm trying to figure out a scene. Maybe it would help if I drew like a schematic first. When I was figuring out what to draw at breakfast, I did some warm-up links. Like there is sort of like 8-bit NES Link on his little raft. And there's like Wind Waker Link, which is my personal favorite. So there's probably going to be some like arrow shooting and sword swinging, kind of an action-y kind of pose. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, P Hospital, that was so like that was rough this afternoon when Discord went down. Like I went over and logged into Twitter. Okay, so let's see. I'm thinking like up here, there could be one of the enemies, and these are like, I think they're called guardians. These kind of big stone guys, and they have 6 legs, and they shoot lasers, and then I think Link's going to be up here in the front. It's tough because I have to figure out how to work this, because it would make sense if he was looking that way, but that would mean we would only see the back of his head, right? And if we're drawing Link, we want to see that beautiful face. As I understand it, when they did the first 3-dimensional Zelda, Ocarina of Time, I think the rumor has it that they based his appearance on mid-90s teenage Leo DiCaprio. It was very pretty. So we do want to see Link. So maybe I'll have to like sort of cheat this out this way. Not sure. It's going to take like a little work to figure out how this all goes together. So I'm thinking, my brush. Like, I think canonically Link is left-handed, so I'm going to make sure to draw the sword in his left. And then maybe the arm comes up. I feel like I'm going to try to get Link's really like head to toe on this big sheet. So maybe he could even be going off the frame there. I think this is going to be like a little bit of a comedy situation. Like he's trying to engage in serious battle with this ancient guardian, but like sort of like along the bottom of the scene here, he's like beset by smaller enemies like chew jellies, like those wobbly green guys, and maybe some bokoblins kind of showing up at a inopportune moment. So they're like grabbing onto his boot here, and he's like trying to shake them off. I think it's going to work, but I need to make sure that things are the right size. Okay. The other foot could go here. Not sure that I love this leg. I might need to rework that a little bit. Let's have that pointing down more and then go back. And then, so I think Link's going to be like here. And he's sort of like sweating a little bit because his gaze is sort of like over at this large enemy, and then I think his ears would go out more to the side. And then let's see. I should check my references a little. So let me show you guys what I was looking at. That's, I think that's a different enemy that I was thinking about putting in, these sort of like buff lion centaur things. We're not going to do that. So here's the outfit that, no, we're not doing this outfit. We're doing the green one. Wow, look at that very steamy looking link. So these little guys are coming in. Where's the picture? Maybe these guys are in the background. What else am I looking for? Yeah, these guys. Maybe some chew jellies. These will be fun to do with watercolor because you could like get some nice effects if you kind of paint like wet onto wet to really get that like jelly effect. I'll probably give them like minimal ink outlines for that. Let's put away my reference. That way. I am going to look at. Yeah, okay, let me just show this one more time. I think since we voted on green, I might do the like Twilight Princess outfit, which is great. Okay, put that away. Well, let me put that somewhere where I can refer to it. Just to make sure that I get all the like belts and straps going the right way. Yeah. He does part his hair on that side. Make sure he has like long, like elfin swoops coming down here. Oh, Sparkle's a fan of the chews. I don't know. I'm kind of wondering, like, it's kind of up in the air whether it's going to be the Guardian, like the ancient Guardian stone tentacle monster, or a Lionel, the like buff lion centaur. I love doing polls. Why don't I help you guys? No. Why don't I ask you guys to help me decide on that? So, new poll. Let me. Ancient Guardian or Lionel. Okay. Start poll. Because I could do that, like have like this centaur here, and I think they carry like a big sword. That's kind of cooler than a stone thing. I mean, I shouldn't be talking while the poll is still going. Let people kind of vote on their own. Right now it's even. Okay. Oh, it looks like Lionel's jumping ahead. And good thing, because I've already sketched in where I mean it to go. How many of these little guys can I fit in the bottom here? A couple more chews. Maybe we're seeing a little bokoblin from the back. I feel like I gotta make sure to have their arms be sort of extra long. It's like his little spine. All right, Lionel it is. It's so handy to like have people help me make these decisions. Like it's exactly the sort of thing like drawing on your own you might get stuck on. But I mean, both were good options. Gotta make sure. Let me just check out what Link's outfit is like again. Okay. I feel like I gotta think about where that hand goes, because like sword is in this hand, right? This is Link's hand. The Master Sword is gonna be like this. And then the shield would be over here, right? But if I'm going to be conscientious about it, I should really figure out where the arm goes to make sure that it could connect, because like if I had drawn the shield here, like you would have to hold it across like that, and I don't think the geometry works out there. I mean, maybe he could have it up like that. I guess it sort of like depends on how he's reacting to the like multiple things that are going on. But this way, it's kind of nice because we can see more of the like waist and midsection instead of covering it up. So I kind of like that. We'll only lose like a little bit of this elf ear. Or I could even have that going back further. Like we'd just be seeing the like inside of the shield. I don't know. I need to work that out. Let's table that for now, because otherwise I'll just redraw that same arm a dozen times. But I think when I come back to it, it will make more sense to me. Okay, so that was just the like first draft of the face. I think I can sort of redraw this to be like a little prettier and also more proportionate to the body, because that head was like way too large, I think. So let's see. This arm is here. Shoulder would connect there. This shoulder comes up. Collarbone is here. I'm just like, it helps me a lot to like start from like sort of the rib cage and pelvis and then build outward. And so then the neck comes up. His head would be about like that. That makes sense. Okay, so now we can start to put features in. His hair is sort of like waving, both kind of like dramatically in the wind, and also because he's like swinging his head around to see what's up. So I think it would be sort of like dramatically swinging up this way. And the same with his, I think especially with this Twilight Princess outfit, his cap is super long. Like, look how long this cap is. Like, that would go down all the way to like the middle of his back. So we can kind of use that like a windsock, because I mean, it basically looks like one. You know, it'll like make a trail of where he was. Like if he was facing this way and then turned, it would sort of like swing behind. Maybe down that way, because the hair is going to be up here. Yeah, that works. So I'm trying to figure out how to do this. So if I do, maybe I'll do his hand like this just to like underline the surprise. Like if you're up late at night in the dark and then you feel something run over your foot, just like that sort of feeling where you would jump back and be like, what the heck is that? So I think the straps of the shield would go here, and then the top of it would be, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. Gonna help me. Usually when I have to draw off the frame, I just like add more paper and then like really work it out. So what shape is the shield? It's sort of like, so from the front, it's like pointed at the top and then comes down like that. And then, you know, insignia and other like fancy stuff. Okay, so I think we're just seeing the inside of it. So this needs to, so the center of it would be here. So it would come to a point like that, right? And then it's kind of like a kite shape. So yeah, I think it would be about like that. And then I'll give it like a little bit of thickness. Okay. Good. I've drawn his wrist pretty thin, but I think he has like leather gloves on, so let me just make sure that these have like a little extra padding to them than like regular fingers would. It might take me a couple of tries to like really get this expression. I don't want him to look too sad, which he looks right now. And to get like a little bit of surprise. I feel like kind of one of the best ways to draw surprise is just to like have the pupil like not touching any part of the eyelid, just have it like fully inside. We'll see. Not so sure that looks that much like Link. Maybe if I add, make the chin a little pointier. I don't know. I feel like I'm pushing that surprise expression too far. Also, I need to make like his eyes like a little prettier, so there's like looking down this way. And that's definitely like a little bit. A couple highlights in. Okay. I can live with that for now. And then let's see. He seems to have like kind of like a turtleneck. And then it looks like his green tunic has short sleeves that go to like the middle of his upper arm. Goes in. And then belted at the waist, so make sure that this works. Okay. I was getting a little bit lost in this part, but I think I need to establish more where like his pelvis would be, like right there. And so the leg connects to the side. Uh, yeah, I think there's like a large buckle here. The strap wraps around. Kind of secures itself on that side. Makes sort of like a squarish, like U shape. And let's see, what else? So then it has like a little skirt. Okay, so that wraps underneath. Let's just figure out how this goes around. Kind of settles in here because of the gravity of the fabric, and then rests on top of this leg. Let's see. You guys will give me a second. I just remembered that I wanted to tweet out that I'm on. Sent. Okay. I usually try to get those out just as I'm starting, but I don't always get it. Here we go. So then he has like pretty tall boots. So his knee would be about here. There's the calf. I think we would see the underneath of this of his foot here because he's lifting it up. Here we go. And then I'm gonna have to like populate this all with like these little scamps. Little guy here. Let's see. I feel like Link is coming together pretty quickly, and we're only half an hour in. Okay, bring this back. And then this is about like that. That makes sense. Yeah, so these are just like kind of thick leather boots, and I got to make sure that they have like joints at the ankle and up here. Doesn't look like they have any sort of like laces, or it's a little unclear to me how those work. Looks like they just he probably needs help getting those on or off, but I think the hero of time would have a lot of support across Hyrule. Oh, wait, did we just get, I think I missed a notification. Let me just turn up my sounds. I think I had my audio turned down here, but looks like lower K is followed, so let me just play that notification again. So, thanks for stopping by. Give you that thumbs up again. Yeah, I think so far we're drawing Link just to catch you up, and he's trying to do battle with this Lionel in the back. Those like half lion, half horse like centaurs. Except he's distracted by all these like little enemies down here who are sort of crawling about. Like there's going to be chew jellies and like bokoblins around here. And I think it's coming together pretty well. I should have time to even do color for it later. Okay, so I need to work on what's happening with this hand. So there, I feel like I should draw the sword first and then draw the hand grasping it, rather than, because I was about to just draw this hand and then hope that the sword fits in. Oh, why thank you, Sparkle. Glad you're loving the sketch. Hopefully it'll develop into a full piece by the time we're done today. Okay, let's see. So, let me get out my little ruler here, by which I mean triangle. So let's see. Roughly his hand is here. And so I guess the like hilt is gonna go here. And that's gonna be behind his leg. Yeah, that's definitely gonna go behind. But it's good for me to know where it is. And so the blade should be like a little wider than that. It looks like the sword seems to have like a specific shape, like it goes up from the handguard, then has like another little notch there. And then this guard is very complicated. It's like there's little wings on here. 2, 3. Okay, so let's continue the blade, which I'm going to kind of follow. It'll be kind of parallel to the handle, but like out a little bit wider. And then just tapering in. So that's going to go off the page. And same for the other side. It's just going to taper towards the middle a little bit. And I should draw also like a center line. Okay. I feel like that's not quite on center, so let me just add another line like that. Okay, so that's pretty much how the sword is going to be like. So now that I know where this is, I can draw the hand wrapped around it, which is not an easy thing to do. So this is the closest I have to a sword, so let me just like look at this and try to transfer this shape down here. Okay. So kind of like, yeah, maybe it would help to put that where you guys can see it, not just me. Like the index finger is like a little higher, which makes sense. And then these three are here. And then there's kind of the large part of the palm that comes up. Okay, I think we found it. Okay, so then leather gloves again. Gotta make sure I have this all set up correctly. Okay, the handle does not go in front of the leg, so I'm just going to erase that before I put an ink line there. And I'm just kind of like wrapping these lines around the shape of this leg. So when I put like, I feel like this is not bare leg. It's like he has some sort of undergarment below his green tunic. Like it's sort of like a light tan, maybe canvas or I don't know, maybe muslin fabric. So it's going to be wrinkly. And so when the wrinkles go in, they should like sort of follow these curves. Okay. So what should I add? I feel like Link is pretty well sorted. I'm also gonna, yeah, I should do that now just also for this hat. Like I'm putting these curved lines on just to let me know that that goes like back into space. Then he has like lots of hair blowing around. Okay, cool. So I'm going to do another pass on this centaur. Oh, Lala's here. Thanks for stopping by. We're just drawing Link. Oh, thank you, Lala. There's definitely like a lot more to draw. I usually try to wrap up the pencils within the first hour, so we've got about 20 minutes to work with. And God, like 7, 8, 9, like 10 guys to draw, so that's 2 minutes each. Let's see. Okay, let me just look at what these Lionels look like. Man, okay. So let me rework this guy in the back. Okay, so I feel like I need to like tilt this a little more so since I don't know, these guys are like 50 feet tall or something. Maybe not that tall, but like I am adjusting this so we're kind of looking more up at them. Then they have these like big horns curling out. Face is like smaller than I had imagined. It's like the brow coming down. Yeah, and then they have like a, I was about to say beard, but really it's a mane. And so that's going to go out. And I gotta really beef up these tusks. Okay, here we go. And I feel like I'm kind of wondering, like, since I plan on inking this and then adding watercolor, just to show that this guy's pretty far in the background, I'm wondering if I might not even ink any on him and just like do him paint only, which would I think would push him back. We'll see. I feel like what I had before in my first sketch was like a lot more expressive. This looks very like he doesn't look. I mean, he looks large, but he doesn't look very threatening. Like there's no like movement to it. So let me just like adjust this again. Okay, so let me see. Stomach is there. I mean, it's possible that I'm just going to keep drawing and erasing the same thing. I think like, I'm looking at some pictures of these guys, so I can. Oh, and their swords have a very specific shape. It's like, okay, so in all the pictures I'm seeing, they're holding the sword righty, and then they can have a shield on the left or a spear. Hmm. Okay. So I kept getting into trouble trying to draw the sword hand up here, but they don't even hold it that way. So let's make it. Like he could be like galloping up and holding the sword like across here. Sort of like that, like he's about to swing sort of downward. And I think the mouth will be more in like a roaring shape. I feel like I'm just being too precious and not wanting to run into the sword, but like that's so backwards, like because I drew the sword in like 2 minutes, so I shouldn't. I'm just gonna like lighten that up. Why don't I use like all this space? Like there's so much more room up here. They have like a big square nose. The cheekbones come down like that. I feel like this is where I get myself into trouble on a stream when I keep redrawing the same things. Why don't I draw some bokoblin? Come back to this. I'm sure that the break will help me like sort this out like subconsciously. Like I'll still be chewing on that, but there's definitely like a lot of work to do down here. Okay. So these little guys, they have a little horn on their head. They have like big nose. They have like a real kind of like a wide mouth with bottom fangs. And then kind of short legs, long arms. Big ears. A little loincloth. I think big feet with 2 toes. And their hands are like 2 fingers and a thumb. Okay. Yeah, these guys are definitely like much simpler for me to think about while I kind of in the background chew on my Lionel problem. Gotta make sure to get some chew jellies in here. Those guys are like no problem because they could be any sort of green blobby shape, or blue, or orange, but shape-wise, any kind of closed curve will do it. And these are all swirls that I can get done with like watercolor. This will be fun because I think we'll still see Link's toe through the transparent little goo monster. Yeah, I feel like trying to make these guys like a little bit cute will help with like the narrative that I'm trying to get across here, that they're not like super scary. So the cutification, I think, is part of that. His ear go up. Oh, they have little skull necklaces, so I gotta get that in. Another chew back here. Am I drawing those guys the right way? I mean, I said anything goes with the chew, but I just want to really be sure. Yeah, I think basically a blob with 2 eyes on them. Okay, easy. Let me just add. I think the more bokoblins I can add, like the better the picture will be. It's sort of like reverse kodamas. Like if you see a bunch of bokoblins, it's the sign of an unhealthy forest. That leg is way too long. Let's see, his little waist would be here. But he could be just like climbing over the spoot like that. They are pretty cute, but like pretty troublesome. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna draw them sort of like hanging around Link's legs. Like, I suppose if you have like little nephews or like younger cousins or kids of your own, it's so cute when they sort of like grab around your legs and you like walk around and kind of carry them. And so there's like a little bit of that. Like they're coming to visit Uncle Link. Oh no. Let's see what's happening down here. I feel like I made that head like a little too spherical. Like they need to be sort of like long like that. Horn on the head. Okay. And this guy's just like running in to join the party. Oh, I mean, would it be too gross if like his foot is lifting up here? Is it like too upsetting if he has like stepped in a chew? Like I mean, they would just glom back together. Like that wouldn't really hurt them. It would be upsetting. I think Link would be more upset than the chew would. So we're going to add that. Yeah, there's like a little bokoblin down here. Like, as long as I have room, I'm going to keep adding these guys. One like, oh, well, that's going to be like right behind this hand, but I could move that hand. This hand could be reaching across like that. And I'm getting close to the hour mark. Like, I've got about 8 minutes left. So I should, I mean, this is plenty of little guys. I do need to sort this Lionel out, and I think coming back to it fresh is going to help me. I say now, but it's also possible I'll have to redraw it another dozen times. Okay, here we go. Let's move this chew just to accommodate this bokoblin. You can go in about like that. Okay. I think it's time to face my old enemy. Oh, good, Sparkle. Yeah, the chew stuff. I think that's cute and fun. Like, no harm is being done there. No chews were harmed in the making of this drawing. So, okay. Let's figure out this Lionel. So I'm going to draw this and just totally ignore where the sword is, because I could redraw the sword pretty easily. It's just a couple parallel lines. It's more important to get this right. What do Lionel feet look like? I mean, they would look like horse hooves, right? Yeah. Okay, and then they have like bandages. Sort of looking up at them. Hopefully this just won't be like the rest of the stream, just me trying to figure out this one figure. But I think I got it. I think I got it. Then this arm comes down. Hair blowing dramatically in the wind. Big horns. Oh, MDF has arrived. Good to see you. We're just working on this picture of Link, the hero of time, from the Legend of Zelda series. There's all these little cute enemies down here that are distracting him from the real fight up here. So, I think the Lionel is going to have a sword of his own. And theirs are always like fan shaped like that, like it's a specific to them. And I feel like pretty much like anything in Breath of the Wild, you can like, after you defeat them, you can equip this, even though the scale is like a little bit funny. Okay. Once again, to draw like holding a thing, I kind of need to like look at my own hand as I hold a thing. Okay. That'd be his right. Holding it. Okay, I think I can figure it out. Oh, Lala says the way the mic is positioned, it looks like I'm looking through a microscope at my drawing. Let me just let's embiggen that a little bit. Yeah, it's true. Um, one of one of the best art shows that I've seen was when I was an undergraduate at Bard College. My good friend who now lives in Toronto, um, she did like a whole set of sculptures that were in petri dishes, and she assembled them with like tweezers and through a microscope. So there is precedent for like doing your artwork looking at a tiny thing. And then oh my god, the exhibit was like so like well done. It was like sort of like in a darkened, like she was able to like box off part of the exhibit space. Like you were in like a room at like the science center looking at like backlit displays of like microscopic organisms. Anyway, wonderful show, and I will never forget about it. Let's go back to main. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think this is the Lionel that we're going to keep. I need, well, right now I'm just trying to like position these, and then kind of a big square nose. Okay, yeah, it's working. It's working. And then he has like a very kind of muscular build for the like human third of his body. I guess he's sort of like half lion, half human, half horse. And then he has all these sort of like straps around him. And then let's see. How much of the horse body do we get to see? Like it would start, like the human part comes down here. It would connect about like that. And then it goes back. But I suppose if we're looking up, this part would kind of be more at an angle, right? It wouldn't go straight out like that, how I had. And then he has sort of like, man, there's so much graphite here. I just need to like make a little space so I even know what I'm looking at. Okay, so this comes down, and then he has this sort of like sectioned like leather loincloth. That. And then like really buff like horse legs. Okay. And if I'm real about it, they would come down about there. Like even if I can't, like this is going to be hidden by these little guys, but I do like to know like where it would be if we could see it. Okay. And then I feel like the back legs are hidden. The tail is going to just go off like that. They have hair on the back of their hands. I feel like I could start inking soon. And I think that was the right move to just sort of like disregard the sword, because look how quickly I can just put this back in. Like 2 seconds of erasing, and then bang, bang, and we've got the sword back. Rather than like avoiding it and then not being able to draw the Lionel correctly. And then, oh yeah, it had this sort of thing here. Great. I think it is ink time. So here's the title card for that. First of all, I just need to get these borders in. Okay. This is like the fun part of working traditionally. Well, I should say working on paper. Like, it doesn't make sense to say digital versus traditional because digital has its own tradition. This is the fun part of working on paper, is just like having all this gear. How am I going to do this? Like that. Oh, Sparkle, that's a great like ink summoning circle. Like, it really looks like those emotes that you put in chat, like I'm conducting some sort of magical ceremony. I'm gonna pull that across. I'm gonna go back over it just to make sure we get all the coverage. And we're right on schedule. We just like went past the hour mark, so feeling good. Okay. Now for the top and bottom. I'm kind of thinking, since I do plan on coloring it, that is going to affect how much ink I put down. Like, if it was going to be ultimately a black and white piece, I'd probably do like a lot heavier shadows, like a lot more rendering, a lot more texture. But a lot of that can be achieved with the paint stage. So I think a lot of this inking is mostly going to be finding the outlines, like out of all these like graphite marks I've done, just looking at it and picking out the best line. Okay, here we go. That's always like a nice ritual to just, for me, to like get in the ink mentality. Like, because before I put that border in, I could always just like erase the whole thing and reuse the paper for something else. But now we're committed. I have my, where is it? Okay, so I have my G pen. I have my jar of Speedball Super Black. I think we're just going to start going in. And I think, I mean, most of the time, because ink is wet, I'd like to go like, and it gets around pretty easily, like, which just happened. Like, it makes sense to.
All right, let's go.
Thank you, Sparkle. It makes sense to like ink from the top left to the bottom right so you don't smear. But I'm going to go against that and like start inking these guys down here across the front. Because it also, like, I also give priority to inking things that are like closer to where the viewer is. Okay. Let me get all this extra stuff off my desk. And let's just start going. I think for this stage, I often like to zoom in the camera. Like, so let's just go to like 250%. If I get too close, it'll look pixelated, but I think this way, like since pen lines are a little slower, like I'm not making sweeping arm movements, it's kind of nice to get up close and personal with the lines and really like feel it dragging across the page. like if you follow, not follow, but if you have joined the my Discord, known as the Quorum, I had just posted recently a video of Urasawa Naoki. He has a YouTube channel, and he had put up a video of applying screen tones. But in order to have something to tone, he just like got out his paper and did like a beautiful drawing of the main character from the Monster manga. But like it was just like so incredible to watch like ink lines appear from nowhere because he didn't even pencil it. I was like, dang, that looks so fun. And I was like, hold on, James. You have a whole drawing stream set up. You could do that anytime. Or like you could, try to give people that sense anytime. Like you could draw anytime without streaming and just like see a pen going across paper. Oh, here we go. I think I will. I was gonna do the goblins first, but I do want to make sure to like get in Link's, like a little bit of Link's leg. Okay, just because I was avoiding it down here. But now I can ink this pretty freely. I always like look for an opportunity like this at the start of the ink stage because like it's difficult to like this tool is like a little bit fussy, and so it always takes me like a little bit of inking to kind of get reaccustomed to it. So it's nice to pick something like a bokoblin, where if they're like a little bit strange looking, that kind of like will accentuate how they are rather than trying to draw like Link's pretty face first, and if I had done it badly, it would look just wrong. But like, say drawing a chew jelly, let's just put this in. I'm just doing a couple like ellipses. Let's see. Not like that. I do want to ink this guy, but I would be putting my palm like right on top of this wet ink, so I will think better of that and just like work across this way and get back to him. By the time I finish these, like this guy should be dry. And since these jellies are transparent, I'm just going to draw the tips of the toes visible through there. And since this guy is in motion, his little skull necklace is sort of like bouncing as he runs. And then like I have the eye drawn down here, but like, with ink, you don't have to like follow everything you did before. It's like the time to pick out something better. So I'm going to like sort of extend these eyes a little bit. I'm going to kind of suggest that over here too, that they like protrude from the surface. Yeah, I feel like once I did one bokoblin, these guys are kind of a snap, so I should not spend a super long amount of time on these guys. Once again, the foot is visible through this translucent jelly. Okay, let's see. Oh, Sparkle, thanks for redeeming that hydrate. I've got this. It's a Hong Kong style milk tea with like a black tea with soy milk added. I don't know if you guys want to see what's in there, what that looks like. Have I had a snack yet? Good question, because I did. Oh, hang on. I think I hear my phone ringing. Is someone calling me about a snack? Hello? Oh, my snack is right here. So yeah, I'm gonna take like a little bite of this. So thank you for the reminder, P. I feel like you and Hayao Miyazaki are of a mind. Oh man. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Um, so I appreciate uh, chat looking after my hydration and nutrition. So that should give me the energy to ink these bokoblins. Make sure I get that on camera. Oh, oh my god. I was totally drawing and Miyazaki was just like right there in front of me. Okay, let me see. So eating made me feel better. And finally Urasawa saying, please draw more. I always need to do the full sequence. What I don't need is like a little schmutz of like banana on my paper. Okay. It's alright. Let me think. I was trying to figure out if anything was going to obstruct this ear, but I think I can draw the whole thing. I feel like these guys have sort of like their faces as I'm drawing them. I'm realizing it's sort of a little bit like a bat, like a leaf nose bat, because they have that little like snout like this. I mean, I don't think they have these bottom teeth, but that'll be like an image to keep in mind when I put their ears in. Let's see. That was that. This guy is kind of like the chief instigator of trouble because he's like riding like right on Link's shoe here. Oh, Lyle has shown up. Thanks for stopping by, Elk Velvet. Oh, and Zoe's here. Oh yeah, yeah, Zoe. Let me just for the new arrivals, let me just like show the whole picture. Like here's Link, and he's about to do battle with this enemy up here, but all these little freaks are down here distracting him. So it's kind of a comedy situation. Okay, zoom back in. I feel like I should do a round of shoutouts because there's so many great streamers present. So let me just do one for Zoetrope.
Just to keep ourselves at least enough to carry on. Now we ride the circus wheel.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh, these are all great clips. Did I miss anybody? Anybody else want to shout? Okay. So let's see. I think I could start. I guess there's just like kind of a complex set of actions going on here. Like he is climbing onto Link's boot. Link is stepping in a chew. I'm trying to figure out what order to ink these in and like what goes in front of what else is the main question. So let me just work up to it. Yeah, I think Sparkle has it right. Like Bokoblins. Oh, Martina Daw is here. Thanks for showing up. I feel like these guys are usually like the first enemy you face in the game, and so then later they're kind of like not as threatening, even though the first few are like kind of tough to handle. Like I remember the version of them I think in Wind Waker were like especially uh, frustrating because they would like make like a scary sound, which I don't want to imitate, but also kind of like crawl down from like walls at difficult angles. And you had to like move the C stick around to try to find them. Okay. Draw this guy. How am I on time? I guess we're about a third. We're at like an hour 20. So I might need to even ink a little faster. I kind of have it divided up like these guys are 1/3 of the picture, Link is 1/3, and then the Lionel, but I had like floated an idea of like not inking the Lionel and just doing it with watercolor for like atmosphere sake. So that could be like a way to solve my time problem. Yeah, P Hospital, please drop the link in the quorum. I think I'm not familiar with that song, so I'll have to give it a listen. I feel like the last time I was like, sure, let's allow links in stream. I like went into my settings and clicked allow links, but then it totally didn't. I think that was on the Lunar New Year Tiger stream. Then everyone was just like typing in links anyway, and it just appeared as stars. But I swear that I had allowed them, that it was like not a troll. Here we go. Oh man, I feel like this guy has really long legs for a bokoblin, but it's alright. Alright. So let me see. Now I can let's work on this chew. He's getting sort of. Oh, hey there, slimy little worm. Thanks for joining the stream, joining the chat. You're just in time to see me ink this this chew that Link, the hero of time, is stepping in. So here's the like gloppy connection, these sort of like ropes of chew jelly that are between Link and the chew. So it's kind of glorping up over the boot. I think this will be like a good bridge to get me into starting to ink the main character here. Let's see. Now we've kind of gone from bokoblins and chews, and then we can start working our way up. Or I feel like maybe I should work my way down. Yeah, got a couple more guys to draw here, and then it's Link time. Oh yeah, so is Link similar to Ashitaka in having a smooth chest? There we go. There we go. And then the top of the boot is here. More jelly dribbling off. That sounds very gender. Okay. So, okay, we've gotten into link. So let's do the same on this other side. Yeah, I feel like the best parts of Breath of the Wild are not even the like adventuring and fighting, but just like acquiring outfits and also the like the cooking aspect. I can't tell you how many examples of dubious food that I put together before I figured out to stop adding like monster horns to my apples. Oh, Hen of the Woods mushrooms here. Good to see you. Yeah, let me just pan around this image for the new person who has arrived. So here's Link, and he's trying to like fight this like large enemy, but then there's all these like cute little monsters distracting him. And like this guy's sort of hanging around his calves like nephew style. Okay. And then, because this guy is gelatinous, we can see the toe of the boot. Should make this line like a little bit wavy to account for the refraction of light. You know, I didn't do that here. These should be wavy lines. Well, that's all right. All right. It could be that like this guy's toe is sort of like gnarly on its own, and so then when it's like wavy through this gelatinous medium, the refractions sort of like straighten it out into like a smooth shape. That's what I'm going to say is happening here. Okay, so maybe that's as much as I can do on all these little guys. Wait, let me just draw this boot and then make sure that that's kind of the same size. That comes down there. So then his leg is there, loincloth, upper arm, elbow. Okay. Where would his other leg go? It would go down here, and then you could just see his foot like right there. Okay, that's good. I think that's enough monster drawing for now. Let's work on. I'm trying to decide, should I draw Lionel first? I never figured out this hand. That's what I should do right now. I mean, I think this is like Hen of the Woods Mushroom. I think this is like of the same theme as a lot of drawings I've done recently, where I would kind of populate the bottom with a bunch of Kodama, but in this case, it's like sort of like different little mischievous twerps. Okay, Zoe has to go, so have a good dinner. Let me just like figure out this hand before I get any further. So these 3 fingers should go together. The index could go like up a little more. The thumb will point inward. Yeah, no problem. First try, ignoring the several tries from earlier. That's kind of how it feels when you leave something and come back to it. You can be like, yeah, first try. Okay, good. Let's see. I feel like right now I'm just having sort of like a little anxiety over wet ink, but a lot of that looks pretty dry. I would feel all right about working on this part. Okay, let's do it. So I'm just going to go from the top left and work my way down. Let's see, here's trying to show that this is a leather glove, not just a bare hand. And it's also holding the inside of the Hylian shield, I think that's called. So I'm going to draw these like shield straps first. And they kind of like go around his palm and then his like the middle of his forearm. Right? So since they are gloves, I'm making these like a little boxier than like a bare hand would be. Okay. And then there's like a little split that helps you put the glove on. All right. I feel like. Okay, then I'm just going to keep moving downward. But then this is the sort of like underlayer that goes beneath the green tunic. And so, yeah, it's like some sort of maybe muslin fabric. It's going to be kind of wrinkly. And then I feel like the green outer part would be like a little heavier. So I'm going to like draw a little lip here to show some thickness of this fabric. Okay. I don't know. Is there a difference between a glove and a gauntlet? Is it just like a gauntlet is like a glove, but even more so? Because like when I've gone out over the winter, like I do wear gloves. I don't think that I've worn gauntlets, so it doesn't really make sense to use them interchangeably, right? Oh, and good thing I got to practice drawing all these like sort of bat-eared, leaf-nosed guys, because really, like Link has the same kind of ear. Okay, so now I'm gonna draw his like kind of pretty hair, sort of like flying outward. It looks like he parts it on this side, so let's keep that going. Oh, P Hospital has an interesting theory. What if Link is part Bokoblin? Could be. Like maybe that's why they're having these sort of like nephew-like reaction to him. Like because before we were joking about they're sort of like hanging on his legs like he's, you know, Uncle Link, but maybe that's for real. I don't know what goes on in Hyrule. Oh, pretty happy with that eye. Oh, Hen of the Woods says, hair like wings of majestic bird. Yeah, definitely like, I think majesty is what we're going for here. Now the problem with drawing a pretty good eye is like drawing it again backwards. This is like the Ginger Rogers of eyes over here. Okay. I'm just like adding like some big gloppy teardrops for the expression to like underline the surprise. A lot of the times I try to like leave this bottom line of the mouth like a little bit unfinished. Oh, looks like we have a visit from Galuigi. Thanks for the subscription. Those really help keep the stream going. Yeah, it's nice for you to drop in. Like, we're just working on this picture of Link. He's like fighting this other guy, and then there's all these like little cute characters down here. Let's see. I think this is working out all right. Like, I'm just trying to get this turtleneck done correctly. But I should draw this like leather strap, which I think is his, what do you call it? Scabbard? Harness? And I totally did not draw a scabbard, which would need to go. He's left-handed, so he would draw it from back here. So the scabbard would probably go out like that. Okay. So like the hospital is saying, is it a bandolier if it doesn't have like ammunition? I don't know. I feel like I went with the word harness, and I feel confident in using that? Or is a bandolier anything that goes across a chest? Oh, since there's like some new people in chat, I just wanted to show you guys a couple of drawings that I did this morning when I was trying to figure out what to draw. Like I drew some like test links. So this is like 8-bit like NES Link. There's like Kid Link playing an ocarina. There is my personal favorite, which is Wind Waker Link. So I definitely do like a lot of practice drawings before stream starts. Like what you see drawn on stream is just like the tip of the iceberg. But there's like what, like what, 8 times that, like under the water. So you guys in chat, you guys are like the Titanic crashing into this iceberg. Like Sparkle Sprout, you could be Leo DiCaprio. Galuigi, you could be Kate Winslet. P Hospital, you're Billy Zane. If Zoe was still here, they could be Celine Dion. Oh, it's called a baldric. That's a great word. Oh. Oh, my hand was just like shaking a little bit. Let me just loosen up. Bring this line down. It just sort of has this like kind of U-shaped collar here. Well, I think it made sense because if Raft Link is your son, wait, no, I got that backwards. I was about to say you end up on the raft at the end, but you end up not on the raft at the end, which is tough because there was like totally room on there for Leo to get on. And like, why isn't Galuigi letting Sparkle Sprout on the door? Yeah, I just like to stir the pot and see where chat goes. Okay, let's see. I feel like I should finish up this like hair and cap before I get too far down into the tunic, jerkin, or I don't know. I'm not a medievalist. I don't know all the names for the different parts of the outfit. Oh, very cute P Hospital. I feel like I got a little confused about what is hair and what is ear here. Let me clarify that a little bit. I think I also just need to add more hairs overall. Okay, and then this cap wraps behind here. I'm just going to put like a little indication of the curves on that. Also just like the texture of this kind of like heavier weave on this green part of his outfit. Okay, let's see. Okay. It's going to be a great moment when our ink lines up here finally like make contact with everything we've been doing down here. And we're getting close. It feels really good to be like spending a lot of time on inking on this one after doing a bunch of kind of painting streams. Like this is definitely much more something that I'm comfortable with, whereas like painting is kind of a new skill for me that I'm struggling my way through in front of everybody. But this one, oh, I just love every moment of it. Feels great. Cool. Good. So that's like 3/4 of length. So now we just need to do this forearm and this sword. Without losing my rhythm, let's just keep going. Sorry, I was just getting a phone call, but I'll take it later. Oh, Ken says, as the legs take shape, the hands are getting creepier.
All right, let's go.
Cool, cool, cool. Oh, thanks for the sound alert. It's definitely like nice to hear those Yamagata clips, because it's not a voice that I get to hear coming out of my own mouth very often because I'm not a rough and tumble youth. And even when I did a part in The Free and the Fabulous, I think my character in that was like a pretty nice person and like didn't get to do too much hooligan-like shouting. So I do appreciate you guys bringing those back. Here we go. So here's the like hilt of the Master Sword. I'm definitely going to get out the ruler to ink in the blade part. Oh, it looks like I have a Hydrate Redeem from Matthew. This is great. I used to always miss those because they didn't show up in my Streamlabs. They showed up in my other like Twitch window, but now I'm not sure if somebody updated something, but now I'm going to see them every time. Okay. I just want to double check this part to make sure that I have. 'Cause this goes out like little. Like the handle goes out like little wings, right? I can close that one. I'm just looking at my reference again. Might as well show you guys what I'm looking at. Like that's my chew window. There's a bokoblin. There's a Lionel. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at. So I need to get. Oh, what am I clicking on? Oh, let's just zoom in right there. Okay, so it's like little wings. There's like some designs there. Okay, cool. Let's turn this off. We'll just make each one of these like a little shorter. Connect it. See if I can draw this symmetrically. I feel like one advantage of doing a digital will just be able to like mirror image it or like kind of copy and invert the like horizontal part. I don't know. Anyway, it's all right. Where is, I need this. Turn it this way. Okay. Just getting out my rapidograph. Okay, that's one side. I'm keeping those lines pretty thin. So I think if it was too heavy, it would make it look as though the sword were blunt, whereas a thinner line, and to me, kind of gets across that it's like the sharpest sword in Hyrule. Oh, Hen of the Woods mushroom. A really nice thing happened earlier in the stream, I think before you got here, where I got to tell people about Michelle Brooks's senior show with the like sculptures through the microscope, and I know that you would probably remember that. Okay, so let's draw this guy. Even though he's like pretty large and in charge, I'm keeping these ink lines pretty light just to show that he's further back. I think for this, the curve of this sword, I'm just going to freehand it. Like I do have French curves or cloud rulers, but I think it'll end up being better if I just do it this way. Sometimes with like those curved rulers, you end up drawing the line that's available and not like the one that I actually want. Also, if it's a little uneven, which it is, I could just say that it's been like used. Like sharpen this up like a little bit more. There we go. Oh, right, because you also live together. So some of the sculptural elements were in your vegetable drawer. Wow, I did not know that. Okay. So the handle of the sword comes out here. think I'm going to make the handle like pretty long, just to like sort of balance out this kind of broadsword energy that it has. And he's got like fur on the back of his hand. Let me just like check my Lionel reference. Okay. Yeah. So I'm basically drawing like a kind of buff human torso. And then this like horned lion face. So let me work on this a little bit. I'm going to try to suggest the curve of these horns. And there's like a big mane that's like billowing wind. Kind of a glower. Oh, Zoe's back. How was the dinner? And we're gonna do kind of like a lion face here. Looks all right. Zoe, was that something that you cooked up yourself? Oh, your dad made it. That is very good fortune to live with a incredible chili chef. Okay, I just heard the stroke of 7. I've got about an hour to finish this inking and then all the coloring. Can I get this all done? I usually like to have one complete piece per stream, and like always start fresh every time. But also, like, I write the rules for my own stream, and if I thought it would benefit from having a part 2 next time, that might happen. Oh, good. Like, I'm just reading about Zoe's living arrangement. That sounds like a good setup. Okay. Then just got to like work up this chest a little bit. Add some like striations. Yeah, we'll see. Like, what I wouldn't want to do is like do a a rush job on the colors, like just to say that I got them in, because I like this piece quite a bit. But you know, I am wrapping up the ink lines on schedule, so we'll have most of an hour to paint over it. For those of you keeping score at home, I live with Hen of the Woods Mushroom, and I think all this dinner talk just reminded Hen about our plans for tonight. Let's see. I'm just getting a little detail on this sort of like chest into armpit area, which is like kind of tough to figure out. I'm going to give this Lionel a little bit of CGs, even though you can't really see it behind all this business. I'm just like adding a little bit of texture to this side of this leather piece just to show it's on a different plane from what's over here. And then he has like straps around here. And then this is sort of like the like buff horse body section. This comes down, there's bandages. I feel like a lot of this could sort of like fade out as the Lionel moves down. So let's see. So the back of the horse section, let's see, this comes in, the line would come out like that. Ah, yeah, I appreciate it, Hen. That'll make for a nice dinner an hour from now. Okay. I feel like I could start painting any second now. Oh, the Hylian shield needs to go in. that's basically just drawing the outlines of in a kite shape. Also very useful, since we're seeing the inside of the shield, I don't have to do all the fancy designs on the front. So good planning ahead. I should show that there's like a little bit of like a pitted, like worked texture in here. Okay. Right, I think we're ready to color. Oh, there's a chew. Oh, and the scabbard. I gotta put the scabbard in. Like this baldric would wrap around here and then connect. Ooh, don't love that line. Okay. Great. So, P Hospital says, nice to see both of us rise to the occasion. Really appreciate that. Okay, let's zoom back out and take a look at what we've got so far. Oh, it looks like I could add like a little more main back here. You know, sometimes I can see it a little better in my stream window because it's like smaller and I can see the whole thing at once. Whereas like here in person when I'm right on top of it, easy to get a little bit lost in the sauce. Wow. Thanks for keeping an eye out, Zoe. Is he thanking them in chronological order? Because I think I only followed pretty recently. Okay. I think it's time to erase everything. Reverse chronological. Okay. Where is my eraser? Right here. Just going to drop a couple eraser emotes in the chat. Feel like I inked this face a while ago. I can be pretty sure it's not still damp. Yeah, I feel like when I erase this, it should just be in the order that I inked it. So I know that I started with this bokoblin. And then I kind of worked my way across. Oh, it looks like I meant to put another chew over here, so let me just ink that quickly. And then I'll remember not to ink this right away. No, I'll remember not to erase this right away. Okay. Let's see, let's just... I think I might say this every time, but this is my personal favorite part of the drawing because I really get to see what on earth it is that I've drawn. Because with all this graphite down here, sometimes it's hard to tell what I've even got. Here we go. Well, that worked out pretty all right. I'm not mad at that. Man, this definitely takes like a lot of like elbow work to get all this graphite off. I mean, sometimes it can be good to just like stand up, like fully stand, and like then you can really kind of bear down on this with your whole weight. And I think similar to inking, I might start coloring in some of these little cute troublemaker guys at the bottom. Like especially like the chew jellies are going to be fun because there's like a fun thing with watercolor where you like wet the surface and then you drop the pigment in and it sort of like goes where it wants to. And I think that's going to really help with the gelatinous quality. Okay. Dang. How long has it been taking me to erase this? I've got like most of it down. Eventually I'm just going to have to call it done. But okay. I think we're just about there. That's good enough. Okay. So let's get rid of all these crumbles. So let's see. I'm going to cover up my ink so I don't spill that everywhere. We're going to look at this color slide. We're now entering the third and final stage of the stream. Okay. So, getting out my palette. And then also going to my webcam software and upping the saturation. Did you see that jump? Okay, so let's do the like fun part. So let me, I think chews are mostly green and orange, so let's do that first. So on this guy, I'm just gonna like wet this whole area. This is not proper watercolor paper, this is like Bristol board. So it doesn't absorb as well. It sits on top. But the same theory should apply. So then, before that dries, I'm gonna go grab some orange pigment. Get the brush nice and loaded. And I think I'm just going to like let that kind of do what it wants to. Cool. So I should make, let me think, orange. I think like this one is going to be green. So let's do that. So I'm just like wetting the paper in the same way. Making sure to get like underneath of this shoe and these like little droplets. Okay, so let's grab some, let's grab some of this like sap green. Maybe like a little bit of yellow in there. And we're just gonna like drop some pigment in. feel like I'm treating it a little different than that because I see like the orange on that one sort of like expanded fully to fit that shape and didn't leave like a lot of white like I was hoping. So I may have to go back over that with corrective fluid later. Let me just like adjust this to be a little more what I mean. I didn't really want it to be like too uniform. So now there's more like orange swirls on there. Good. Oh yeah, I think Link just stepped in one of these little guys. So let's make this guy orange too. Might just like sort of alternate, like this guy's green, that guy's orange. I'll do that while I have brush loaded. Okay. I'm just like holding a brush in each hand and going for it. Okay. A little running out of room. Running out of room on my table. So I feel like I should, like a lot of the time, if you've watched my color streams before, like I'll kind of go over it and add all the shadows, and I think I should do that just to help tie these together atmospherically. Let me just bring this down. So let me see. Since they're certainly outside, they're like out on the Hylian plains, we can do basically like a sunlight sort of lighting scheme. So they would have like a brighter source from one side, and then like the purplish shadows will make sense. I think I'm going to basically do it sort of um, like the light is casting downward. I'm going to work. Yeah, let me just like start on these bokoblins first. And I'm just going to paint like where all the like shaded areas are under the tunic, across here, on the front of this. Just got to make sure I'm keeping that on camera. Be like some purple shadow cast beneath them. And when I say purple, I'm actually like mixing it in with this magenta just to make it a little more complex than being straight from the tray. Okay, let's see. I feel like doing this shadow stage really just like immediately adds a lot of dimension to the drawing. Like if the goal is to like show these guys existing in the same space, I feel like this really does help tie things together. So where is the bottom half of this bokoblin? I need to just like draw in some feet over here. I'll do that quickly. I think I don't really need to pencil this because I've already drawn a bunch of bokoblin feet. So shoulders here, his little butt would be here. So knee comes out, folds back, little foot. And the other leg here. And I think this guy needs like another leg. This is what happens when you erase. Like, you think you've got everything, but then you discover like whole limbs are missing because you said, oh, well, I'll just come back to that. And we're coming back to it now. Okay, good. All right, so let's continue with adding shadows. Definitely need some on this like main troublemaker. I'm going to shade the like instep of that boot. His big head is casting a shadow on his torso. Shadows under the ears. And I'll have to decide pretty soon what color these Vocalblins are, because I think they could be either like a grayish blue or like a rust color, maybe. I feel like that's a way to like add more enemies to your game. Just like use the same sprite or the same model and just like swap in a different color. Maybe I'll do some of each. Some blue guys, some red guys. Like some shadow under this chew. But I feel like Hen in the Woods is asking if the different palette swaps would have different powers, and I think yes. Because like as Link gets stronger through the game, they also need to like scale up the enemies. And so they would just like bring back an enemy, but oh look, they're a different color now. Their behavior would, I think, is largely the same, but they would just like have more more hit points or do more damage. Just like a more difficult version of the same thing. Okay. That's the little guys. Yeah, I mean, I think Hen of the Woods is touching on a nice thing about like game difficulty, where they will usually present you with obstacles and enemies that are appropriate to what you're able to do at the time. And I think that's because games are designed to make you feel good to play them, I think. Whereas regular life is not. Okay, so there's a little occlusion shadow between his hand and the shield. I feel like the whole underneath of the shield should be shaded. And when I do like these shadows on his legs, I'm sort of like thinking about how the shape wraps around. Like I had drawn those pencil lines wrapped around there before, and so I'm sort of like following those to suggest the way the fabric is wrinkled. Shadow under the knee. I feel like a lot of this guy is going to be pretty deep in shadow. I think both to show like the mass and also to add a sense of like unfamiliarity or danger. Like a lot of this face is going to be hidden. Okay. There's definitely like say I'm the way that I filled this in and this in, that's like information that wasn't in the incline because I tried to go over this as lightly as I could to sort of like send him back in space a bit, but I can like provide that with color. A lot of down here, this is just going to be all in shadow because like only the top parts of him would be catching the sunlight. Okay. This is all shadow down here. And this is like, I think I had drawn in where his hoof would land, and it would be like down there. Okay. Okay. Good, 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 good. So now, since I had mentioned they're outside in the sun, I'm going to do kind of the opposite of this and do like kind of a golden highlight across the top. Here's my palette of just yellows. Those little eraser bits get into everything. Okay. Right there. I want to hide the drawing from you guys. This palette away. You know what? I think we are on target to finish on time. Let's see, I'm going to mix up. I have a few different yellows in here. I'm just going to like add water to each of these trays just to loosen up these paints. Okay. What's that going to look like? That's like kind of a nice golden color. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have darkened it like that. I'm going to mix up a few more of these until it looks how I want to. Okay. And basically I'm going to do the opposite and put like these sort of golden highlights across the top of just about everything. I'm just thinking about like the roundness of these shapes and which part would be facing upward. So like someone like be landing across here. Definitely on the back of a horse, sunlight would land. And then since he's sort of like facing away from the light and towards us, I can like put these lines kind of around the edges to give it like a little bit of a rim light. Oh, you know what? I didn't put any purple shadow on this blade, which I'm going to quickly like add this like golden highlight all the way up. Sunlight glinting off the top of the shield. Yeah, I think this is coming together. Light across this part. Maybe the top of this leg. work some of this like into these translucent gooey guys. Okay. I feel like when I get really into the zone, like the amount of chatting I do drops, but I'm still here with you guys. I haven't totally like left planet Earth for the Kingdom of Hyrule. Here we go. And I think that's going to be enough of that. Yeah. So now I could start adding more of the local colors. Like I'll put in the green tunic next, and then we'll really know that this is Link. Okay, so my little green tray. Ooh, hit the camera. Well, I guess we were talking before about like color swapping the same characters, but like Link does that too. Like I'll have the like blue and red version of his outfit, like as he progresses. What kind of green do we have? I feel like it should mostly be like the sap green. Add like a little bit of yellow. Let's see how this looks. And I'll have like a little napkin ready to pick it up in case it's not the color I want at all. I mean, it would make sense to try it on a separate sheet, but we're under a time constraint. Yeah, that's fine. That looks like Link. So as I do these brush lines, I'm still being conscious of how this fabric like folds around his form. I'm going over pretty lightly because I can always make it darker, but with like watercolor, it's harder to go back. Right now, this screen is pretty pale, but there might be another pass. We'll see. Okay. Right, so I need to put in his like leather gauntlets and boots. And those are kind of going to be in this family of colors. Definitely this one. All right, let's see. Again, going on pretty light. And it's okay if this is like dappled a little bit because it could be, I think that would give it more of a natural like leather texture. Okay. like I feel like this underlayer I shouldn't leave totally white because it's definitely more of a cream or kind of eggshell color. So since I went pretty light on these leather gloves, I'll need to go even like lighter on this part. I need to like mix up something. Maybe similar to what I had, but I'll add like a little bit of yellow to it. Something like that. But also, I should dilute it a bunch. Also, like maybe add some white. Let's see how this does. I'm not sure. Oh, and I missed putting in these colors. So maybe, okay, I'm gonna quickly, since this is on the brush, I'm gonna try to do this underlayer. And if it's not the right color, it's all right. That's all right. It's a little darker than I want, so I will pull that back. But like once you sponge it off, that looks okay. I feel like I should use it a little more sparingly and like leave some of the white. Good. So now I need to do the belts, etc. And those are just like that kind of brownish, reddish leather color. Yeah. And yeah, while I have this on the brush, I could like darken parts of what I did before, just to like emphasize parts that I need to. Let's work on Link's like skin tone and hair. And since I've got, I think it makes sense to me to sort of like, since I have this color on the brush, like that's closer to the skin tone. So I'm going to paint his face in next. When I clean off the brush again after that, I should be ready to paint his hair. So let's see. Take this pink. Add also some of this titanium white. Like a little bit of this sort of like red and orange. I could also do that in layers. So let's see. I'll start on the darker part, be like here. That might be too intense. I should bring that back a little bit. Because right now that's like the most intense color on the page. So I'm just gonna like dilute that some, a little more white. Okay. Let's see. I'm not gonna paint in this whole shape. I'm gonna sort of just add this color on where the darker parts are. Since I still want to get across his surprise, so I think like leaving more white in the center will help with that feeling. Okay. So let me add also like just like a little bit of blush. basically taking the same color as a second ago and like adding like a little bit of red to it. Pull that back a little bit. Okay. Paint in Link's hair. Oh, I totally also his ears would be like skin tone. Let's get that in. And they can be like a little redder too. Okay. Good. I'm just gonna get out my cool brush and add like this cerulean blue. Okay. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Hen of the Woods. I'll see you in about 15 minutes. So for hair, let's get this tray back out. I do want to make this like a slightly different tone than what we did for the sun highlight. Okay. And I'm kind of just like following the overall shape of this hair. Like I wouldn't want to like paint lines going crossways, because this is also like helping show like the way this flows. Okay. Cool. I feel like Link is mostly done. I should put in some like blue on this sword hilt. Okay, so now we know that's the Master Sword. I should add like also, while my brush is loaded, we're gonna just add like a blue highlight going up that side, making that pretty loose. LP Hospital dip out as much as you need to, but I am glad when you dip back in. Yeah, so I think it's time to color in some bokoblins, and I think there's gonna be like grayish blue and like reddish brown, sort of alternating. Let me find like a good gray color. They should be different than that. I'm gonna take some cerulean, I'm gonna mix in this like warmer brownish gray that I had already on my palette. Okay. Yeah, that's just about right. Actually, this is like a really nice kind of like stone grayish blue color that I do also want to use on the Lionel. Okay, let's see. Oh, Jesper Deer has arrived. Yeah, I feel pretty good about this one. We're like in the final stages. There's only like 12 minutes of stream left. Let's see. Okay. And this guy can be greenish blue. Okay, so now let's do the like red bokoblins. Oh, yeah, thank you, Lyle. Okay, so let's see. So let's combine a couple of these. Like, it'll be nice to have another warm color down here apart from the, like, these oranges really are eye-catching. So it'll be nice to have like another kind of warm down here. See how that looks. Could be a little more red than that. A little more red. Let's take that back. Yeah. That too red? Because if it's like, that might grab too much attention from everything else in the picture. So I think I mixed the right color. I just need to like dilute it down more, just so it's like an intensity that fits with everything else. I also need to put in all the bokoblin eyes, because right now they're just like white. I feel like they would be more, I don't know, like a deep kind of like opals or something, like kind of like reflective. There we go. So I want to get something in there. That's good. That's good. That doesn't take away too much attention. Right. So I'm gonna need something from this cool side of the palette. Does anyone else in chat like uh do watercolors? Because I would love to. Oh my god. When I did that line like right when I did a dot right in the middle, it just looked like a pupil, not like a reflection. It's like if I were to do it like this, that would look so crazy. But it's not like that. It's like this. Okay. Now, oh wait, this boot is totally unpainted. Oh good. Yeah, it's like super it's super fun. Okay. So let me grab, I think I still have some of that leather color left over, like here. I think. I feel like this boot is going to be like a totally different shade than the rest of this because I neglected to paint this in. Oh, that's all right. There was nothing to fear. Okay. So now we just have to paint in the Lionel, and I think we're pretty much done. I think I'm going to stick to a pretty cool palette, just to like sort of send him back in space. I should color in the scabbard also. Sort of to match this, but like also a little more shaded. There we go. That's fine. Scabbard is done. Like, Lionels come in different colors, right? Like, I'm not going too far against canon if I just color him any way that I want. Yeah, I mean, this is fine. Like I've heard Nintendo likes to shut down like Smash tournaments, but I don't think like Reggie Fils-Aime of Nintendo of America, maybe he's not there anymore. I don't think he's going to come shut down the stream just because I didn't color this Lionel the right way. Here we go. Yeah, I feel like my whole approach to painting this guy in the background is sort of like using fewer colors that are kind of closer to each other on the wheel. Whereas like a lot of the stuff up here is pretty high contrast. Okay. See, we've got about 5 minutes left. I think we're in great shape. I also have not really addressed the sky or ground, and I think I can do that right now. So let me see. I'm going to wash the brush, just so they're not like floating in a white void. I'm going to add some like kind of clouds and sky back here. And kind of try to use these clouds in such a way that it helps direct the eye where I want people to look. So these lines are sort of coming in from the side of the page. That's much too intense. And sort of like directing attention towards the center. Let me just add here. And like the way these clouds are here, because this is not like a natural sky. Like I'm using these a little bit to show like Link's surprise. Like in like newspaper strip cartooning, you might have like lines radiating out, but I can use like cloud shapes to that similar purpose and just have like an in-universe sort of like intrinsic shape. Kind of accomplish that. Okay. And as for like a little ground here, I feel like I am going to just like indicate that there's something that they're standing on. So I'm gonna use this kind of like warm color just to like indicate that there's like some like rocks and debris down here. Okay, okay. Feel like I should sign this guy. Call it a stream. Don't really love how intense that blue is, so I need to adjust parts. Like if I add more intensity here, it'll make that less distracting. Okay, I think mission accomplished. Yeah, I think that is a painting. Yeah, I'm really proud of this one. Like a lot of the time on a stream, I'm just like, let's see what happens. Some stream drawings are better than others, but I think this one is definitely in the better half. Just like breaking up the top of this shape a little bit as it disappears upward. Putting like a little glint on the Master Sword. Adding some like tears to Link's eyes. Oh, I should make his mouth pink. I'm like missing a key detail. Just like there. Okay. Yeah, I think time to sign this one. And then where's my pen? Should also start seeing who else is on if I want to do a raid. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to sign it down here. I've gotten pretty good at writing the correct year by now. All right, so let's just take a last look at this. Cool, 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 cool. So this is where we say goodbye, my friends. I'm trying to stick to this Tuesday early evening / afternoon slot. So if you want to put me in your calendars for next week, I'll be here. That really does not show up on the chat camera. There it is. There it is. Anyway, so thank you all for hanging out with me while I work. It really helps me stick to a piece. So thank you, Jesper and Johnson and P Hospital and Elk Velvet, Zoe, Matthew. Am I missing anybody? I think I should thank our new follower, Laura K, and our sub. We had some subscriptions, Galuigi and Sparkle Sprout. Wonderful to spend time with you. We'll do some more drawing. Let me just hit the raid. We're going to raid a really good artist. Raid Nim. Yes, okay, I did type that in correctly. So please go over and follow them. They appear to be working on a comic right now, doing some digital ink. Really exciting. So here comes the raid. Bye, everybody.
Sad his tail is not a separate thing. It is embroidered on. Even though it looks nicely embroidered on, it's still like, yeah.
Oh my gosh, hello! Ah! Hi!
Hello.
Welcome, raiders! Oh my gosh!
hello.
Oh my gosh. What?
What's up?
Hi!
How you doing?
Hello!
Whoa.
Hello!
We're just a bunch of goobers. We're
Oh,
chilling.
that's so sweet.
Hello!
Yeah.
Hello!
Doritos in the chat.
Dorito. Oh, yeah. Let
Little
feed. Time to,
snacks.
gotta feed everyone.
Yeah.
Hello! Thank you for the raid. I was. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I that's very, very thoughtful of you. Yeah, this is the couch. We're just